And we're back. And we just finished watching 2015's Pixels, which we saw with commercials on AMC.
So many commercials. But
it is available for rent on Prime Video. But if you're cheap like me, you can watch it when it's rebroadcast on August 31st at 11 p.m. on AMC. So let's get to it.
They got commercials at the worst times, especially at the climax of the movie.
All right.
This was
criticism of commercials aside.
This was Olive's choice. Why did you pick this movie?
Because I saw the trailer for it and I wanted to see it.
Okay, fair enough.
What about the trailer? Looked cool.
That games were basically destroying the city.
Okay.
What did you like the movie?
Yeah.
What did you like most?
The fact that almost at the end, like a bunch of video game characters just started destroying the city.
Okay.
You just like the random destruction of it all.
Yeah, they had Frogger.
Yeah, they had all the video game
classics.
They had the Galaga, Space Invaders, Paperboy, Joust. Q*bert was there.
Who was the other thing before Q*bert?
It was like a dog with a duck.
The dog from Duck Hunt.
Duck Hunt.
Donkey Kong, let's not forget.
Donkey Kong, of course, Pac-Man.
Did you have a favorite character, Olive Tree?
No. Really.
Okay, fair enough. What about you, Gigi? Did you have a favorite scene in this movie?
No.
Did you have a favorite character?
No.
Did you like the movie?
It
was okay.
Yeah.
Just meh.
It made me laugh, but other than that.
What's the thing that made us laugh the most? At one point, we all...
Peter Dinklage.
Peter Dinklage
was like the highlight of the movie just because he was such a jerk. And there was...
And so ridiculous.
I think it was just the one scene where they get introduced to the creator of Pac-Man, and he just walks up to the guy, this like old Japanese guy, and he's just like, "I made your game, my bitch."
That was it. I completely forgot why we all laughed. That
was probably the biggest laugh in the whole movie.
In the whole movie.
It wasn't super funny. I mean, I could see kids enjoying the hell out of this.
Yes, for sure. And I think people our age, like the nostalgia factor, kind of.
Yeah, this was a nostalgia kick for adults
who lived through those times.
Yeah, and if you like Adam Sandler, it had sort of like a toned down version of his humor that you'd see in most other Adam Sandler movies. Because this was clearly a kids movie.
Definitely, for sure. I couldn't get past the fact that the estimated budget on this was $88 million and that this movie grossed just shy of $245 million. What the hell?
Hey, people like Adam Sandler.
Yeah, they really do.
And
video games, I guess. Yeah, I mean, God bless him. He has created a entertainment empire off Saturday Night Live sketches.
You know,
we've watched a bunch of his films, and so far they've all done pretty well in our eyes. I don't think we've seen one that like we hated, at least that we reviewed for this podcast.
Yeah, no. Agreed.
I mean, there were films of his that he made that we didn't review that were.
Well, you know what? I got to be honest. Like, I was not a big fan of him. I never understood why he was so over with the crowds. And the only time I legit loved him was Punch Drunk Love, which I think is such a phenomenal movie. But I think that's because that script is so amazing, and he really channeled that character. Like, I don't think anybody else could have played that character. It's funny. Sometimes when you watch movies, some characters are tailor-made for certain actors.
This review isn't about Alan Sandler movies. It's about Pixels.
Easy. All right, let's rein it back in. Okay, so
Alan Sandler.
We should call him that from now on.
All right.
Okay.
Stop it. You're scaring him.
Easy. We're all sitting here. There's no reason for you to take it up so many
octaves.
octaves.
And simmer down.
This was highly predictable, very bland, but fun, enjoyable. I agree with you. It's completely a kids movie. I'm going to say maybe 7, 8 and up, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
there's nothing.
I mean, there's nothing really offensive. If there was any kind of humor that was like geared a little bit more towards adults, it was very sugar coated. I don't think it was like because the fact that we watched it on AMC that they like sort of dubbed over anything, because
I don't think they did.
I don't think anybody's mouth was moving in ways that weren't reflecting what was coming out of it.
Right. I mean, bitch, I think is the biggest
Yeah. Well, yeah. There's the
strong
the
word.
B word.
Yeah.
What about when that guy said cracker?
That's not really.
It wasn't. They weren't really using it in sort of a derogatory racial kind of way.
Yeah.
Also, you probably wouldn't get what that meant unless.
Yeah.
It's such an antiquated, stupid term that I don't think anybody's really offended by it. Maybe. I mean, but then again, we're
living in some highly
we're
sensitive
coastal
times.
elites.
Yeah.
We don't.
Coastal elites.
Yeah, we're coastal elites. We're not as sensitive to the word cracker. Maybe that's just really bad, like in Missouri or something like that.
You know what? Cracker is not that offensive. Get over it, people.
For us, but who knows? You never.
That's true. We
So
live in some
everybody-
crazy times. We are
If somebody
legit
can
in the
get
upside down.
somebody can get their panties in a knot about something, they will, and
Exactly.
including the fact that I used the
Exactly.
term panties in a knot.
Yes.
Sorry for anybody who was offended by
Yes, if your sensibilities were.
that. I'm not saying that women are hypersensitive.
Dad, you actually gave us like mini arcade games.
Yeah,
Like
You had
I
those.
have 3 of them upstairs.
the race station has all those games.
Dad gave us the race station. Mom gave us the little arcade games
Really?
because she
are
loves
all from
spending
Zulily.
money.
Yes, because mommy loves spending money on Zulily,
I thought
who's not sponsoring this podcast,
But they
but
should.
could. We've
Seriously,
certainly
I've
spent
They
enough
make
money
so
there.
yeah.
I've certainly spent the
Well,
gross
I
national
shouldn't say-
product
I
of a
shouldn't
third
say
world
we,
country
I
on
should
them. I'm going to say it's like a fairly safe movie. It's definitely
This is definitely a safe movie for kids. There's
definitely a
no
safe
doubt.
movie for kids. Young families could definitely enjoy it together. There isn't. I don't think there's high stress peril in this. Do you?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
I mean, people are fighting video game characters, and like, I mean, there are points where people are sort of like it appears like they're disintegrated or something, but they're fine.
Yeah.
Like nobody. I don't
And
think.
you see them later.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
see them later. They're just captured.
Yeah.
It's. I don't think anybody actually gets killed in this.
No,
this movie.
not at all.
Like not even like a background character or
No.
anything.
No.
So
yeah, they all just jumped out of the way.
Yeah.
nobody bleeds.
Yeah, mostly because they cut it clean. They do the job clean.
And the guy got his arm back.
Yes.
So-
Well, that was. Yeah.
Not like in
It's
Fear Street Part 3.
Not
let's
like in Fear
see.
Street Part 3. Exactly. Scale
That
of 1 to
was ugly.
You covered your eyes. Stop talking.
I saw some of it.
Okay. Rein it in, little miss. Focus. 1 to 10. What would you give this movie?
I'd give it an 8.
An 8. What about you, Gigi?
Wow. 5.
A 5. What about you?
I'd give it like a 6.
I too would give it a 6. It wasn't the worst thing, and it wasn't the best thing, but it was
okay.
It was entertaining.
It was
Peter Dinklage was
Peter
the goat.
Dinklage was entertaining. I liked his character as like the sort of Billy Mitchell type jerk.
Billy Mitchell.
Why you giving me the shame finger there, Olive?
Because she gave it the highest rating, and
Well, this was your
Oh,
movie
this
pick,
was
so
your
I
pick,
would assume that you would
And
like
it was
the most.
this film was designed
For you.
So it did its job.
It's not. Listen, we didn't give this
When
movie 2 or 3.
when you
Relax.
get older, you're gonna look for more things out of a movie than what you saw on Pixels.
I hope you do.
I hope you don't feel bad or anything.
No, she's just milking it. So an 8, a 5, 2 6s. I guess we would absolutely recommend.
Recommend for kids, yeah.
I guess There's really not much to say here.
Yeah, there's not much to say. This you can't really do a deep dive on the movie Pixels. The most interesting little bit of trivia that I do know about this film was a short YouTube video came out a long time ago, and they saw it, and basically it was this movie, and they basically bought the rights to it, and they made a movie about it. So
Can you
that
show
was
me
the
it?
origin. Yeah, I'll try and find it on YouTube. I'm sure it's still out there. I think it was somebody's art project.
Interesting. That's great.
Funny.
Yeah, so good
Yeah.
for that guy, whoever he is. I'm sure he got I hope he got a nice little payday for that.
I hope so too. And legit, I am impressed that this movie made the numbers that it did.
It's a kids movie. Kids
Yeah.
movies do well.
Do
I mean,
well,
especially when you got like a semi-big name. I mean, Adam Sandler is. You
Yeah.
know, you're
I mean, I
probably
don't
gonna
really
go
think
see
of
it.
him as kids movies, but
Yeah,
I
you
guess-
don't.
holy
But
cow.
I'm sure
I
there
guess
are.
this
I'm
is a
sure there are a
thing.
lot of like people who loved Adam Sandler's work on Saturday Night Live and all the other silly movies he did, like Waterboy and Grandma's Boy or whatever.
Happy Gilmore,
Happy Gilmore,
Billy Madison.
Billy Madison, which I mean, aren't they all the same movie?
They're pretty much, yeah.
But
Wait,
they-
a
but they-
murder mystery.
Wait,
But they
can
love
you
that.
say
I'm talking about like that. Yeah, that's
the movies
later.
that were, like,
I'm
in
talking
the
about the
90s
stuff that
movies.
those
Yeah.
people grew up with.
Bubble boiled grandma?
Yeah, boiled grandma. They those people watch those movies and they love the crap out of them, and now it's just like, well, now I can go take
With my
my
kid.
kid to see a movie of this guy who I loved his work. So I'm sure it did well. Yeah.
I'm just shocked at the numbers. I mean, that's like more than double.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, I don't think of Adams when I think of an Adam Sandler movie. I'm not thinking like the budget of any movie that he did is going to be
Crappy?
bankrupting a studio.
No, but I'm going, like, I haven't looked at the numbers, but I'm assuming like all those comedies that made him a gazillionaire in the 90s probably didn't cost a lot, but generated enough revenue that he just kept getting blank checks to make more of those movies.
Yeah.
Like Clueless?
It's like, I
That's
mean,
not his.
it's like those cheap horror films.
right.
you
Yes,
know?
yes.
Seriously.
I mean, he's an industry.
Yeah.
He is an industry. That Happy Madison
Happy
Productions.
Madison Productions, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he is an industry.
It's sort of like crudish humor,
Yeah.
cheaply done with like generally a slob.
Yeah.
as
And
the
all of
main
his
lead.
friends.
And all of his friends, basically, hey, let's hang out and make a movie.
I guess his new BFF is Kevin James.
He's in a lot of his stuff. You know
Who's
what?
Kevin James?
A little surprising. His usual
Cast of characters.
cadre of regulars wasn't there. Like,
Well, that's what I mean. Like
David Spade,
David
wasn't
Spade
there,
and Rob Schneider.
Rob Schneider.
Like because they used to do all those other movies together. So I wonder if they kind of drifted apart. I don't know.
no, because they've been in stuff after this movie came out. They just weren't in this one for some reason.
Rob was in that Hubie Halloween, but he wasn't in this
He wasn't in this, but Hubie Halloween came out like last year.
last year. True. But I don't think I've seen Spade in anything of his recently. So I wonder if
Just
maybe
those
that relationship.
grown-ups movies.
Ugh. I'm still mad. Don't even talk to me about Grown Ups.
You must love those movies so much, right?
Let's wrap it up.
Let's wrap it up. Let's.
Goodbye
yeah.
forever.
And that's it from us. And we will come back with another review. Good night.